man, I'm just as happy as I was when I was getting to Marceline. This is just great. I'm so happy to be back. Welcome to Trundlebed Tales. Now, those of you who've been following me around on YouTube have probably seen I've been watching a lot of Disney videos and listening to a lot of Disney podcasts, and it's given me a lot of good ideas to use on this channel and on my podcast and all around the web. But one that I thought that I would try would be to do room tours. Now, it isn't going to be as straightforward as the Disney ones because there's more places you can stay, but I'm going to try doing tours of some of the places I stay when I visit the home sites. And today's is a bread and breakfast that I stayed at when I was down for Wilder Days in Mansfield. Now this is going to be a little different from the room tour because I do a tour at the beginning of the actual space, and then after I'd stayed there a couple days I made a list of pros and cons to tell you about. So then I'm going to go through and tell you what I think, whether I recommend staying there or not, and what problems or pleasures that you can find. I hope you enjoy this room tour, and if you like it, let me know in the comments so I'll be sure to make more. Alright, this is the Stone Cottage Inn in Mountain Grove, and it's a bed and breakfast, and I'm really kind of impressed. I mean, it's like its own little apartment. I mean, goodness, there's the TV, here's the bathroom. Wow, there's not a light in the shower. That's super duper helpful. Have control of your own thermostat. This is the bedroom, which is just real pretty. And usually you keep the shades drawn because the street's like right there. And you have, your car can park right outside the door, which, as I was just talking to somebody about that and how, you used to be able to do that, that's kind of cool. And one thing, you're supposed to wash your own dishes. They don't do a general wash after a person leaves, which really isn't good. And you have to take your own garbage out when you leave. Breakfast is at the pastry shop around the corner. And the cute nightlight over there is actually mine because I actually carried some things in earlier. I just had waited because I was in a hurry when I left. Okay, here's my report on staying at the Stone Cottage Inn. I already did you a room tour, and there's some pluses and minuses I have after watching it a couple days, or living here a couple days, so I thought I would let you know. First off, it is a great room. I am very impressed. It's really kind of like a small apartment. There's a full kitchen, microwave, stove, refrigerator, dishes, that you can use. There's a very comfy couch, nice big TV, a very pretty bedroom with a closet, which is highly unusual anymore, and a nice big bathroom, which I like, and full refrigerator. You can park right outside the door, which every time I park someplace where you can park right outside the door, I forget how wonderfully helpful that is. That is the only bad thing about hotels that have corridors, is you can't do that anymore, and it's a shame because it is so nice. And this is, you could park close enough that if you wanted to leave a lot of stuff in the car and just grab it when you needed it, you could do that. If you want to bring everything in, short trips, that's great. So also, there's a grocery store across the street, which opened up at 7 in the morning, both Saturday and Sunday. So I was able to run over and get some milk and orange juice to have in the fridge, and it worked great. So I was very impressed. It opened that early. It was not a huge grocery store, but definitely bigger than a mom and pop, bigger than the one that is in the small town by me. So it's really really a nice feature to have. They had a small drugstore thing, though I wanted to grab something that was technically makeup, and they did not have it. They had one little end cap of makeup, which was not great. But that's the only negative thing I could say. They had cleaner, they had all sorts of food, dairy, milk, orange juice, all kinds of juice, canned food of all kinds. If you wanted to make your own meals here, you could definitely do that easily with stuff over in the store. And again, it's just catty-cornered across the street, real close. So that was really great. They also have really great Wi-Fi. I didn't have any trouble streaming anything. A good selection of cable channels, and it is a secured Wi-Fi, so you have to log in with the password. So that's good. And it's about 20 minutes to Mansfield the quickest way. Now, the first time I was leaving from Rocky Ridge, and I followed the GPS, even, because I really have only been to Mountain Grove like once or twice, so I thought it must know what it's doing. But there is kind of a frontage road. I really think it was probably the old version of 60 before they put in the 4-lane. It just feels like that's what it was. I could be wrong, but that's the impression I got, even though it didn't say so, or I didn't hear anybody call it Old 60, but I really didn't talk to anybody about it either. And it paralleled it for quite a ways before there was get on after Mansfield to get to regular 60, and that took longer. There are also, just so you know, 3 exits to Mountain Grove off of regular 60, and they do have some chain restaurants in town, kind of on a strip. The strip is the 3rd exit going away from Mansfield. So if you're looking for that kind of fast food kind of thing, which you usually in towns this size, because I always judge town size by fast food restaurants because it just is an easy way to do, and I think a lot of people kind of know what I'm talking about. But this was odd because they were all so isolated. It was just odd where they were, but that must be just how the town developed. It isn't really that far between them within town. I don't know if the road curves or what, but it took a lot longer when I was heading for the 3rd exit from the first exit where you turn for this place than it did when the GPS then routed me through town on the way back, and it was a lot shorter even though you were going slower. So I don't know, but anyway, that's in the know about Mountain Grove as a whole. This place is very near the town square. It is not on the highway, but not 60, but is it 95? I think it's 95. That's one of the main highways, state highways that goes through town, and it is not right on it, but it is right off of it. I was kind of shocked. I thought maybe the GPS was messing up, but they weren't. It's just here. You check in at the little restaurant that is next door, and that is also where you get your breakfast. Now, they aren't there on Sunday, so they were giving me today's breakfast yesterday. It was a real cute place, and I can't remember if I had to pay for my drink or not. I'm thinking not, but I'm not sure. And then you had a choice of 3 quiches or a muffin of the day. So I got the quiche yesterday, muffin of the day then for this morning, and it was it was fairly good. I personally also had some beautiful cupcakes there, and I kind of hinted, could I have a cupcake instead? And no, I could not. At least she didn't pick up on it. I didn't actually say, could I have a cupcake instead? I was like, those look like delicious cupcakes. Nothing. Okay, so minuses. You have to wash your dishes, which they said to wash them well, which is not great. That means you're trusting on other people to do a good job. I re-washed everything I was going to use. A lot of places, if that's their policy, they run any that are dirty through the dishwasher first, which I for sanitary reasons, I like that a lot better. You have to take out your own garbage, which I have to remember to do. There is a zero entry shower, which I personally do not like. I've had bad experiences with them, but I know it's a plus for some people. More kind of irritating, there wasn't a light in the shower, and there wasn't really a light directed at the shower, so it's kind of dim in there when the curtain's closed, which is kind of odd because there's shockingly bright light everywhere else. And last night I went to take a shower, and the water was cold. Now, normally when that happens, there's like something wrong with the water heater, and that's it. And I didn't call anybody because it's late enough at night that even if they sent someone, I didn't want to wait up and deal with it. So I didn't tell anybody, but this morning it was hot again, so I think the hot water heater ran dry, which is not great. But it was good and hot every other time I was taking a shower. It was a little noisy. Part of that was they were having to work on something with the drain at the unit next door because I heard the people talking about it, and it was very loud, and they were doing it fairly late in the night because I was going to do a recording, and I really couldn't do it while that was going on, so I had to get all ready for bed except for that. So, and you can hear train whistles. The train isn't here. You couldn't really hear the cars go too much, but you could hear the train whistle for the trains going through. And I think that's all I have to say. Overall, I would say it was a major plus. I think for what you get, the price is extremely reasonable, and I would consider staying here again. I'm hoping next time I come, I'll be able to get a place in Mansfield proper, because I like to do that if you possibly can. But if you're going to stay in Mountain Grove, I would really recommend this, especially after reading the reviews of the hotels here and in Ava, which there might be some that I didn't realize were here, but they were not favorable. So take that with a grain of salt, as you will. You know, sometimes people are too particular about that, but that's what I have to tell you about the Stone Cottage Inn. So I hope that you found this useful, and that you'll see me again soon, right in the corner where you are. Thank you for joining me on Trundlebed Tales. I hope you enjoyed today's video and that you'll come back real soon to look for more. If you enjoyed it, look for me all around the web under Trundlebed Tales, especially at my podcast on Blog Talk Radio and my blog on WordPress. And be sure, if you enjoyed the video, to leave a comment in the messages below and to ring the bell and subscribe.